sink into another great story, and if you like it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, on with the show. Laughter filled the room, rich, full, rolling off the walls like a second round of applause. She stood dead center under the lights, drinking it in, fingers tighter around the microphone, that crooked smile she used whenever she'd stepped over a line and gotten away with it. I didn't join in. I stayed motionless and watched. "Come on," she teased into the mic, playful. "You've never lied to your partner just to do something actually fun." The crowd exploded again. She glowed beneath the stage lights, confident, magnetic, alive, everything the audience adored. I saw something else. Her bit was about a fake girls' weekend at a lake house, a story about recharging with friends that ended with, "Let's just say the only thing I was soaking in was trouble, and not the bathtub kind." The room howled. A man at table 3 slapped the table, laughing until tears stung his eyes. 15 feet behind her, near the catering door, I melted into the shadows. She didn't know I was there. She thought I'd left that morning on business. She'd kissed me goodbye at 7:12 sharp, breath minty from mouthwash. Now she was making me the joke. I scanned the crowd, glossy guests in gowns and suits pretending not to catch the implication. My seat at our reserved table remained empty. When her gaze swung that way for the briefest beat, her smile faltered. She kept performing, but the mask slipped, her hand shook as she handed the mic back to the host. She hadn't expected me to be in the room, or to notice that Dererick left 5 minutes before her set. I didn't call her out. I didn't start a scene. I left. 2 blocks away I sat inside my car, parked in front of a dark laundromat, fingers wrapped white-knuckled around the wheel. I kept replaying the second when she'd seen the empty chair, how quickly the grin broke. It wasn't the joke that stung so much as how rehearsed it sounded, like humiliation had become a regular routine for her. At 12:41 a.m. her text lit the screen, "Hey babe, saw your seat was empty. Everything okay?" No heart emoji, there used to be one. I didn't answer. She called at 1:09, again at 1:14. By 1:33 she stopped trying. When I finally went home the porch light was on, usually, always on for me, but that night it felt staged. Her gold heels, the ones she said made her feel dangerous, sat by the rug, they still smelled faintly of champagne. I walked into the office without flipping on a light and sat in the dark. At 2:07 a.m. I heard footsteps, a soft knock. "Milton." She whispered it, then fell silent. "I didn't mean it like that," she breathed. "You weren't supposed to hear. I was just trying to be funny." "It's not what it sounded like." I said nothing. Instead I opened a drawer, not to arm myself, only to touch something real. Inside, the lake house itinerary, folded neat, a USB drive I'd found in the laundry, and a small velvet pouch holding a ring, the new one I'd bought for her, for us. It suddenly felt like part of a joke I'd never agreed to. I rose and walked past her without speaking. She didn't follow. Morning didn't unfold gently. She was up and dressed, making the kitchen spotless, the air humming with forced normalcy. "Coffee's hot," she said without looking at me. I stayed mute. "Seriously?" she asked, saccharine. "You're giving me the silent treatment over a joke. You think that was about the joke?" I finally asked. She rolled her eyes. "People like edgy humor. You've always said I'm a great storyteller." I looked at her. "Dererick left before you did your set." Her face flickered. I slid the USB across the counter. "He dropped this in your car, didn't he?" Her eyes widened. "You didn't even bother to hide it," I added. She froze, the way an actor does when they can't remember the next line. I left again, no destination in mind. I ended up behind the Civic Center, the same place she'd performed. Derek was there, smoking by the loading dock, startled when he noticed me. I rolled down the window. "Did you laugh at her joke last night?" I asked. He blinked, confused. "What? At the banquet? Did you laugh?" He hesitated, then said, "It wasn't funny." "Good," I said, and started the engine. When I returned, she stood on the porch, arms folded, the look of betrayal turned back on me. "Can we talk?" she asked softly. I walked into the kitchen and faced her. "You told a room full of people you lied to me," I said. "So why does it matter now?" She said quickly, "It wasn't about you. You said you lied to your husband. That's me, right?" I pushed. Her breath hitched. "Milton. I talked to Derek." She murmured it as if confession. "He wasn't supposed to be there," she added. "Yet he'd left right before her set." "Why?" She kept silent. I set an envelope on the counter. Inside were hotel receipts, 3 different weekends, all during volunteer retreats. "You went through my email?" she demanded. "No," I said. "You left them in our shared folder." She stared, calculating. "You don't know the whole story," she said. "Then tell me it wasn't like that," I challenged. I just felt trapped. Derek listened. He made me feel seen. "So no affair?" I asked. She hesitated. "I didn't say that." And in that pause, whatever trust I'd held evaporated. The next 2 days were a study in pretending. She kept the routine, coffee, watering plants, polite calls, but her voice lost warmth. One night I heard her crying in the shower. I didn't go comfort her. Instead, I went to her office. Her tablet lay open on the desk. I found messages that weren't about volunteers, texts with Derek, flirty and intimate, plus voice notes. "You better not be wearing that awful hoodie again. You can't just leave me in that motel room like I'm nothing. Tell Milton we're expanding food bank hours, so if he asks, you know the drill." I took screenshots, not for revenge, but to anchor myself to reality. On Thursday she made my favorite dinner, candles, wine, the whole scene. I didn't sit. "Did you cook this for Derek, too?" I asked. Her smile dropped. "Excuse me," she said, voice hardening. "The risotto, or is that for the men who don't leave motel rooms too early?" Her face closed off. "You had no right," she spat. "You had no boundaries." We stood across the table as steam curled between us. "You're more upset that I lied than why I lied," she said. "No," I replied. "I'm angry because you enjoyed it, because you liked seeing how long it would take me to find out. And this time it was my seat that stayed empty." She sipped her wine like she'd rehearsed calm. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said. "But I didn't stop it either." "That tells me everything," I said. "You left your voicemail backed up to the cloud." "I have it all. Every word." Her hand shook. "What are you going to do with it?" she asked. "I don't know," I said. "But I know what I won't do. I won't keep pretending this marriage is real." She opened her mouth to speak. I raised a hand and ended it. Then I turned and walked away.